Breaking news, Chicago Bulls sign Patrick Williams to 5 years $90M extension. Chicago Bulls news today. Major breaking news from the Windy City. The Chicago Bulls have just signed Patrick Williams to a massive 5-year, $90 million extension. In today's video, we're breaking down what this deal means for the Bulls' future, Williams' role on the team, and how this impacts the squad's long-term strategy. Don't miss out on the full analysis and insider perspectives on this game-changing move. Make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell to stay up to date with all the latest Chicago Bulls news. Welcome to Chicago Bulls News, your go-to source for the latest updates on the Windy City's favorite team. We've got you covered with breaking news, trade rumors, and in-depth analysis of everything Bulls. From United Center to the front office, we're bringing you the inside scoop. Hit subscribe and let's talk Bulls basketball. First, let's break down the details of this deal. Patrick Williams, the talented young forward who was drafted 4th overall by the Bulls in 2020, has agreed to a 5-year contract extension worth $90 million. This averages out to $18 million per year, a significant investment in a player who's shown flashes of brilliance but is still developing his game. Now, some of you might be thinking, is Williams worth that kind of money? It's a fair question, and we're going to explore it in depth today. But before we get into the analysis, let's take a quick look at Williams' journey with the Bulls so far. Patrick Williams came into the league as one of the youngest players in his draft class. At just 19 years old, he was thrust into a starting role on a Bulls team that was in the midst of a rebuild. From day one, Williams showed tantalizing potential. His combination of size, athleticism, and two-way skills had Bulls fans dreaming of a future all-star. In his rookie season, Williams averaged 9.2 points and 4.6 rebounds per game. Not eye-popping numbers, but remember, he was just a teenager playing against grown men. What really stood out was his defense. Williams showed the ability to guard multiple positions, using his 6'8" frame and 7-foot wingspan to bother opponents. His sophomore season was unfortunately derailed by a wrist injury that limited him to just 17 games. But in his third year, we saw Williams take a significant step forward. He averaged 10.2 points and 4 rebounds per game, shooting a career-high 41.5% from three-point range. More importantly, we saw his confidence grow, especially in the second half of the season. Now, with this extension, the Bulls are betting big on Williams' continued development. They're not just paying for what he is now, but for what they believe he can become. So, let's break down why the Bulls made this move and what it could mean for the future. First and foremost, this is about potential. Patrick Williams has all the physical tools to be an elite two-way player in the NBA. He's got the size to play power forward, the quickness to defend on the perimeter, and a developing offensive game that could make him a matchup nightmare. The Bulls are also betting on Williams' work ethic. By all accounts, he's a gym rat who's constantly working to improve his game. This extension shows that the Bulls believe in his ability to maximize his potential and become a cornerstone of the franchise. But let's talk about the risks. $90 million is a lot of money for a player who hasn't yet had a breakout season. Williams has been solid, but not spectacular, in his first 3 years in the league. There's always the possibility that he doesn't develop into the star the Bulls are hoping for. However, in today's NBA, this deal could end up looking like a bargain if Williams does take that next step. We've seen similar bet on potential contracts pay off big time for other teams. Just look at how the Boston Celtics' early extensions for Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum look now. Now, let's consider what this means for the Bulls' roster construction going forward. With this extension, the Bulls now have their core of Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Nikola Vucevic, and Patrick Williams locked up for the foreseeable future. This gives them stability, but it also limits their flexibility in making major moves. The success of this team will largely depend on how well Williams develops alongside the established stars. Can he become the defensive anchor and third scoring option this team needs? If he does, the Bulls could have a formidable lineup for years to come. Let's also talk about the timing of this extension. By getting it done now, the Bulls avoid Williams hitting restricted free agency next summer. This could save them money in the long run, especially if Williams has a breakout season. It also shows faith in Williams, which could pay dividends in terms of his confidence and commitment to the team. Now, I want to address some of the criticism I'm already seeing in the comments and on social media. Yes, $18 million a year is a lot for a player averaging around 10 points per game. But we need to look at this in the context of the rising NBA salary cap and the potential for growth. With the salary cap expected to rise significantly in the coming years, this contract could look very different in a few seasons. If Williams develops into even a solid starter, let alone an all-star caliber player, this could be a steal for the Bulls. Let's also consider the alternative. If the Bulls didn't extend Williams and he had a breakout season, they could have been forced to match a much larger offer in restricted free agency. By locking him up now, they're mitigating that risk. Now, let's talk about what this means for Patrick Williams himself. This is life-changing money for the 22-year-old. It provides security and validates all the hard work he's put in. But it also comes with increased pressure and expectations. From everything we've seen and heard from Williams, he seems like a mature, level-headed young man who's ready for this challenge. In interviews, he's always emphasized his desire to improve and help the team win. This extension gives him the security to focus solely on his game without worrying about his next contract. But make no mistake, the pressure is on. Bulls fans will be expecting to see significant improvement from Williams this season. He'll need to show that he can be a consistent contributor on both ends of the floor. So, what should we be looking for from Williams this season? Here are a few key areas. Offensive assertiveness. Williams needs to be more aggressive in looking for his shot. Too often in the past, he's deferred to the Bulls' established stars. With this extension, he needs to show he can be a reliable third or fourth option on offense. Three-point shooting. Williams shot over 40% from three last season, but on relatively low volume. If he can maintain that accuracy while taking more attempts, it would open up the Bulls' offense significantly. Defensive versatility. We know Williams can defend, but can he become a true defensive anchor? The Bulls need him to consistently take on the toughest defensive assignments and make life difficult for the opposition's best players. Playmaking. This is an area where Williams has shown flashes but needs to improve. If he can become a secondary playmaker, it would take pressure off LaVine and DeRozan. Rebounding. At his size and with his athleticism, Williams should be averaging more than 4 rebounds per game. The Bulls need him to be more of a force on the glass. Before we wrap up, let's quickly recap the key points of this breaking news. The Chicago Bulls have signed Patrick Williams to a 5-year, $90 million extension. This averages out to $18 million per year, a significant investment in the 22-year-old forward. That's all for this breaking news update. If you enjoyed this analysis, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more NBA news and breakdowns. Don't forget to ring that notification bell so you never miss an update.